Hey guys, so I wanted to stop by. Of course, I just got from work, so I wanted to. I'm like, you know what? Let me just give a word right now. So, what I was coming to give you guys a word on was pretty much it was talking about. I'm in the book of Daniel right now, and in the book of Daniel, it's about this king. He sends for his his chief official to go and fetch men of status, men that are that have money, that has education, all of this, so he can build his kingdom in Babylon. Now, amongst the men that he sent for, Daniel happens to be one of them, and so Daniel and his friends and it's niche. Their names are very crazy, but let me give you guys their names real fast because I'm taking notes right now. So their names, it's niche. It is where is it? It's Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. Okay. Now, what's taking place right now is that the king has sent for them to go and to go through this training of in order to get into this king, in order to get into the palace in order to get into the palace, they have to go through this training that the king has them to go through. Now, Daniel, being who he is and who God called him to be, they have, for instance, wanted them to partake in the meal that he prepared, and then Daniel was like, no, I'm going to fast, because Daniel refused, his friends refused, because they were like, we want to, we want to just go on a fast and, just not partake of this. So basically they stayed, the part of this story is that they stayed true to who they were. They did not back down because of people. And and what came to me was that now all of them were training to get into the same position, right? So that's why I asked the question is, are you qualified, or are you called? Because being qualified just holds credentials, and being called holds purpose. So when you're qualified to do something, you're qualified to be a teacher, you're qualified to be a writer, you're qualified, you have all these skills that you're qualified to do. But the thing is, the things that you are qualified, is it taking the time of what you're called to do? See, being qualified and being called are two different things. Okay, I'm qualified to do a lot of things, but am I called to these things? So you have to understand not to allow what you're being qualified to do to pretty much take away from what you're called to do. You see what I'm saying? See, Daniel and his friends, they all went through the same training as all the other men that they had called, to come to the king's palace, to go through this training so they can, pretty much help the king run the land of Babylon and the kingdom of Babylon. And so the thing about it is that even though they all were there for a purpose. They all were there for training, right? But my question was, why is it that only Daniel and his friends make it to the top? Because you have to understand, being qualified will get you to the doors, but being called will get you through the doors. Now, they stood out amongst all of these other people. I mean, these people had money, they had status, they had potential, they had all these things. But you have to understand, it does not matter what you have. When you have purpose will always override position. And that's why these young men were ahead of everybody else, because their purpose overrid their position. And even in the midst of them denying themselves the things that the other people had pretty much encountered, and they allowed themselves to indulge in, Daniel and his friends, they stood for what they believed in. And that's why God allowed the light on them to shine so bright, because you have to understand, there are going to be things that God says, I called you to do this. And in the midst of me calling you to do a thing, there are going to be some things that you're going to have to deny yourself of. And so also when you're qualified to do things, you're going to allow the flesh of, hey, this is what I'm good at. I'm good at doing this. So you're going to allow what you're good at doing take the place of what God has called you to do. And so when that happens, you're not allowing your purpose to take its place. You see what I'm saying? If Daniel did not stay true to his purpose, he knew that. You have to understand, whenever you're going into something, it's not just for you. You have to ask God, what is my purpose for being at this job? What is my purpose for doing this? What is my purpose for going through this? What is my purpose? What is my purpose? If you're going into something and you're just work, okay, for instance, if you're just working a job and you're not asking God you're not asking him, what's my purpose for working this job? Am I supposed to even be at this job? What's my purpose of being with this man? What's my purpose of this? You have to ask God your purpose, because you don't want to waste and spend your time on things because you feel as though, being that I'm qualified to do this, You feel as though, okay, I don't, at the end of the day, I don't have to, I don't have to go to anything else. But you can be qualified to do a lot of things. I mean, I'm qualified to do a lot of things, but I can't allow what I'm qualified and what I'm good at doing take from what I'm called to do. Okay, Desiree, you're good at doing this, sweetheart, but I called you to do this. See, now that's what the question was at. Ask yourself, am I in something that I know I'm good at doing, but it's taken away from my purpose? And ask God, is what I'm qualified to do, is this my purpose? Is this my purpose that you have through me, or am I wasting my time on something that I know the skills that I hold, the education that I hold, the status that I hold, the money, the value, the things that I hold that makes me me? Am I just qualified to these things, or am I actually are these things purposed in my life? And when you ask yourself that, it's like you begin to make a lot of alterations in a lot of things and decisions. Like when I go through things now that I live my life in God and I allow God to be my spiritual leader in everything that I do, I don't go through now as the new Desiree. I don't go in anything without first seeking God. I ask God, okay, God, I mean, even seriously, guys, I would ask God for, it's been times when God have exposed to me, like let's say I was looking for something and I didn't know where to go to get it. God revealed to me exactly where it was at, and then when I got there, it was only one pair of it. So it's good to be in tune to the spirit, guys, because you're in tune to the spirit, you will know that I'm not just at this job just for this reason. I'm not just with this man just for this reason. I'm not just doing this just for this reason. I'm not doing this just for this reason. You'll know I'm here doing this because I have purpose. And if you lose sight of your purpose because you're so focused on a position, the status of where you are, you're gonna lose yourself. Just like Nebuchadnezzar, the king that's in this book of Daniel, he was so full of the position he carried. God had to bring him down. God had to bring him down. Like, okay, hold on. I know that you king, but at the end of the day, your position does not override my servant's purpose. And so you have to be open to the purpose that God has in you, because God will use you to deliver a person that's so focused on the position. You see, when Nebuchadnezzar had a dream and then he needed the dream to be interpreted, they could not, the magicians, the people who have the money, they couldn't interpret what the dream was. You know why? Because they didn't have purpose. God didn't give them that gift. God didn't give him that gift to do. And so being that Daniel and his friends had denied themselves of it was like some food they had, and they was like, no, I'd rather just go on the fast. Give me 10 days, and then if I feel like I need it, I'll let you know. They didn't do it, and then God increased. So that's when that thing comes in, when God is saying, I need you to cut away some things. And so being that they gave away some things, God was able to increase in them vision, knowledge, wisdom. All of those things were increased in them because of what they gave up. And so being that what they gave up, it allowed them to be a healing to somebody else, because they went through a sacrifice for God. So they were able to be a healing for the king, which was Daniel was able to be the healing for the king. And he was able to interpret the king's dream. And so the king was like, wow, okay, thank you for that. He promoted him. Your purpose will always promote you. Your purpose will always promote you. His purpose allowed him to get through so many doors. Now, I'm not saying he didn't go through any. I'm not saying he didn't go through any pitfalls. He didn't go through any, downfalls. He did, but his purpose overrid all of that. See, when you're a child of God and you know who you are, you will know that your purpose does not dictate your position. It does not. It does not matter if somebody has something over you that you don't have. Your purpose will always bring you to the top. Even though Daniel and all these other men all came together at the same time, when this king called all these people, why is it that Daniel and his friends made it to the top? Why is that? But they all started at the same place. Why is that? Because they had purpose. You see, when you're going to something just for the position, you lose focus. You lose sight of everything. But when you go to something for purpose, you're gonna come out on top winning, because God purposed you for a reason. And if you lose sight of the reason behind the purpose because you're so focused on the position, then you pretty much, it's pointless. It's just like right now, people, like, for instance, like how I look at it with this whole president thing. If anything, it's not just the president thing, it's with anything that holds position. If you're in a position right now, and you're looking at the position I'm in, the power that you're getting from it. It can be money. It can be, a promotion, a job, whatever the position. It could be, whatever position you are in your life. If you're allowing that position and its power to overtake you, then you lost sight of your purpose. And your position is not just a job, guys. Your position can be fear. Your position can be a man. Your position can be your self-worth. Your position can be a lot of things. And if your position is allowing you to allow the purpose to be, if your position is allowing it to overpower your purpose, then you're losing who you are, because you have to understand, if you're destined for a purpose, then your position should not be overriding it at all. And so that's why I said your purpose is the thing that God placed in you. You see what I'm saying? As women, if we're like our position, okay, let's say your position is you're at a place of insecurities. You're at a place of, of self-worth. You're at a place of, allowing your identity to be controlled and to be hidden behind this man. That's your position, okay? But when you have purpose, you'll know, hold on, I'm better than this. I have morals. I have worth. I am somebody. I'm not going to allow him to do me like this. That's purpose. You'll know that who God told me that I am a conqueror and I'm somebody, and I can do all things through Christ Jesus that strengthens me. See, that's when that purpose comes up. That's when you begin to know, okay, I may not know my purpose, but I know I am destined for purpose. So I'm not going to allow you to treat me how you treat me, because I am purpose. You see what I'm saying? But when you don't know that, the enemy has control. You allow the enemy to control you. You allow the enemy to take the very roots that you're weak in and cut him. You allow him to, not even cut him. I say grow him, because God wants to cut the roots that he didn't put in you. The enemy wants the roots to continue to keep on growing, so you won't find a true you. You see what I'm saying? So like I said, guys, in the midst of this, like I said, reading this book of Daniel, it lets me know that being qualified and being called does not hold greater purpose, because being called holds more purpose than being qualified. You could be qualified to play basketball. You could be qualified to cut hair. You could be qualified to work. You could be qualified to do a lot of things. But in the midst of you being qualified, ask God, what is my purpose in being qualified? Or am I spending too much time in the things that I know I'm good at, that I'm losing sight of my purpose in the midst of it? So like I said, God, I will take being called over being qualified any day. Because me being called holds purpose. And then me being called and my purpose is going to take me further than me being qualified. Like I told you, being called and having purpose is going to bring you through the doors. But being qualified and holding credentials is only going to bring you to the doors. You see what I'm saying? Like, your purpose will always take you further than your position. Your purpose will always take you further than your position. It will always take you further. Somebody can have something over you, but being that God has destined something and planted something in you, guys, you will overpass the person that you never thought you would. You will overpass situations that you never thought you would. You will overpass the place in your life that you never thought you would. I'm telling you, it all starts up here, and it all starts right here, knowing who you are in God, knowing His Word. You have to put that word in you. You can't just go to church and then not expect to be in the Word. You have to ask God, and if you don't understand how to read the Bible, ask God, how can I understand how to, interpret what you're telling me, God? Speak to my spirit so I can hear you, Father God, because when we're allowing our positions to overtake what God's purpose is saying, it's too loud. And God is saying, I'm needing you to silence some things in your life right now. In order to silence some things in your life, I need you to come to me, and I need you to allow me to lead your life, and I will reveal to you the things that's taking your distraction from me. I will reveal to you the things that's taking you from hearing my spirit. Because when you become it's not like how I'm talking to you right now. When you become spiritually in tune to God, it is such a beautiful feeling, God. It really is, and it has no age to it. It does not. And so when you become spiritually in tune to God, there are gonna be things that God is gonna reveal to you in your ears, reveal to you in your dreams, reveal to you through people and things. But you have to first let Him in. And the only way to let Him in is to begin to know who He is not just going to church and then hearing everybody else say who He is. Actually building that relationship for yourself to find out who He is. You see what I'm saying? You have to understand that God has destined all of us a purpose. And like He said, many are called, but only few are chosen. Don't miss it because you spend your time in the wrong things. Ask God, am I spending too much time in the wrong things that I'm losing time in with things I'm supposed to be spending time in? Are you spending too much time around your homegirls when you could be doing other things that God has called you to do? To go out and help, helping somebody that don't have anything. Investing your time in things that God called you to. Are you too busy on the phone gospel when God is telling you, okay, you know what? That time that you're using the gospel about somebody, how about you pick up the word up and read? How about you get on your knees and pray? How about you come to me, repent to me your sins? What are you doing? What are you doing that's allowing you not to go, go further than you could? Like, at the end of the day, a person in whole position, like I said, is only going to go so far. Like this king, he even said it. Let me go to it right now. He even stated when Daniel told him about his dream, I think it was a second dream, okay? He had 2 dreams, and Daniel was able to let him know about what was taking place in the second one. And then the king, out of his own mouth, now he holds position, right? He holds position. But being that when God revealed to him that, you know what, I'm finna knock you down from your position, because you allow your position, your power to overtake the purpose. And when that happens, you're losing sight of who I am. Okay? So now the king Nebuchadnezzar states, where is it? I gotta find it. He said, okay, Nebuchadnezzar says, when this part right here I'm about to read to y'all, this is after Daniel tells him what God exposed the dream to him, and then Nebuchadnezzar goes through this downfall to where he's, he pretty much lost a lot of things, and then he had to get knocked to his knees in order for him to begin to pray. And that's sometimes God's gonna do. The God's gonna have you to go through those things, because he's like, you know what, I'm tired of you allowing these things I'm tired of you allowing these things to take part and take over who I am. You know what? There's going to be some things I'm going to cut from you. There's going to be some things that you're not going to be able to receive anymore, because you're not going to continue to keep on allowing these things to take who I am as God. I'm your only one in God. Okay? And so Nebuchadnezzar states that, he says, I, Nebuchadnezzar, raised my eye. Nebuchadnezzar is a king, guys. He says, I, Nebuchadnezzar, raised my eye. No, he said, where is it? Where I just seen this, huh? It says, I, Nebuchadnezzar, raised my eyes towards heaven, and my sanity was restored. Then I praised the Most High, honored and glorified him who lives forever. And it states that, he said, I was restored to my throne. Okay? And became even greater than before. He said, I was a greater king than I am a greater king now than I was before. You know why? Because he allowed God to begin to lead him. God has given him dominion of his people. And he's like, I gave you this position, but while you're allowing power to pretty much override my purpose. Position and power without purpose is dead. Now, when you allow your position to serve purpose, your power is never ending, because God's power through you is so strong, it's so powerful, it will push you past limits you never thought you would ever reach. Trust me. And it states that now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and exalt and glorify the King of heaven, because everything he does is right, and all his ways is just. And those who walk in pride and it says, and those who walk in pride he has humbled. This is a king. He had position. What made him say? He said, I was greater than I was before. I was greater than I was before. So he's letting you know that I'm a greater king than I was before, because when I was king then, I was so focused on position and power. And now that you have gave me back the throne, Lord God, I am greater, because I am not only position, I am purpose. I am purpose, position, and I'm power. 3, I'm purpose, position, and power. But purpose has to first come first. When purpose comes first, then you understand the reason of your position. And then when you understand the reason of your position, God will impart in you power. So purpose, position, and power. Don't have position and power without purpose. It's dead. Purpose, position, and power is what you need. When you have purpose, position, and power, then you begin to understand the reason of why things are how the way they are, or you begin to understand the reason of who you are. You begin to understand who you are because you understand your purpose. So this video, guys, is really just letting you know that it does not matter what you're qualified to do. It does not. Being qualified and being called, once again, are 2 different things. When you're called for purpose. When you're qualified, it only holds credentials. Being called holds pretty much the purpose. And being qualified holds the credentials. Credentials are what men say. People say, oh, if you don't have this, you can't have this. If you don't have this, you don't have that. But God's purpose says, even though you don't have this, you still gonna have that. That's the beautiful thing about God. Even though you don't have this, you're still gonna have that, because you know why? Because your purpose. But when your position is gonna allow you to be denied some things because it's just position. But when you purpose is going to allow you to walk into things. You'll be like, I don't even have this. I don't have that. I don't have this. I don't have that. I don't have this. I don't have that. I don't know him. I don't know her. I don't know how. I don't know where. I don't have the money, I don't have this, but God's gonna say, but guess what? I'm God. And my purpose through you, sweetheart, I'm gonna walk you through doors that you never thought you can walk through. I'm gonna place you in front of people that's gonna have exactly what I called you to do. I'm gonna put unknown, substantial amounts of money in your bank account, and it's just because, you know why? Because you're my purpose. You're my purpose. And being that you allow me to live my purpose through you, I'm going to continue to further you. But when you allow your position to live through you, you're only gonna get so far. But you allow God's purpose to live through you, you're gonna always get further. You're gonna always be ahead. Always be ahead. You're going to always be ahead, even when it doesn't feel like you are ahead. You are ahead. Because you have to understand the spiritual. You can't have what's in the spiritual. If you can't have what's in the physical, if you ain't first tap into that, if you ain't first tap to that spiritual. Like I told y'all, when I tap into the spirit of who I was in God, and me and Lamar gave up sex, look at everything God blessed us with is because of who we found out who we were in the spirit. Everything that we walked into is because we denied ourselves of selflessness, of ourself and the things that we crave and things that we want, and we allow God's purpose to flow through us. That's why God says, I want you to die of yourself. I want you to die of your flesh. Die of your flesh so you can receive my spirit. But if you can't die of your flesh, and you're not ready to receive my spirit, because you can't serve two gods. I need you to serve me, and I'm the only God. When you begin allowing money, people, things, jobs, career, family, friends, everything to come in the place of me, then you begin losing sight. I know I called you to that position, but I did not call you to allow that position to serve you. I called you to allow your purpose to serve that position. Okay? So that's how God is. And like I said, in this book of Daniel, this is an amazing book. Read your word, guys. When reading, everything that you seeking to have answers to, it's not in you calling your homegirl, asking her what you should do. All it takes is you getting in tune with God, listen to his spirit, and being open and letting him know where you are. He will reveal to you exactly what he wants you to do. So, like I stated, ask God, what is it that I'm supposed to do? And is what I'm doing, is it taking the purpose of it? Is it taking the position of where I'm purposed to be? You see what I'm saying? Is my position of where I'm at allow my purpose to be overlooked? You see, are you so tied into the position of where you are? Like I said, position is not just people, it's not just places. Position can be actual internal battles that you fight within yourself. You can be in a position of fear, and so your position of fear is not allowing you to see God's purpose. You can be in a position of hate, anger, ugliness, gossiping, judging people. It can be all those things, and you lose sight of it because you lose sight of your purpose because the position is too loud. That's why I always ask God, silence what's loud in my life, God, so I can hear your spirit speak to me, so I can hear what you're trying to tell me, Lord God. Allow me to be used as your vessel, so as I'm going throughout my day, Father God, that I know that what I'm supposed to be doing, Lord God. I don't want my day to be not progressive. Call me to something. What am I supposed to do today? But I'm going to let you guys go. Like I said, ask yourself, am I just so focused on being qualified for the position, or am I focused on being called for the purpose? Peace. All right. You guys have a good one. May God keep you, bless you. And like I said, keep that word in you. Allow that word to feed your spirit, man. If you can invest time in watching football, watching Housewives, all that stuff that's on reality shows, investing time into your boyfriend, to your husband. But if you can't, but when it comes time to reading the word, you all of a sudden sleepy, you can't do extra, then that right there, it's a wake up call. Because if you can invest all these time into doing all these things in your everyday life, but when it comes to God, you can't give him any time, that says a lot. You have to ask God, help me to prioritize the things in my life where I'm putting you first. All right, guys. Peace. May God keep y'all. And like I said, purpose always overrides position. All right. May God keep y'all. Y'all have a great day. And don't lose sight of the purpose ever. If you lose sight of the purpose, you're pretty much pretty much living. You don't want to just live. You want to live for purpose. You want to live for a purpose and then when you live for purpose, you know that, okay, God, I did my duty that you called me to. Because when judgment day comes, God is gonna ask, what basically did you do what I called you to do? And then you can't say if you can't pretty much give him the answer for that because you've been so tired of you and self and people, then you lose sight of. That's why I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue having, like I say, God placing me, like I don't have an issue having friends, but if I'm having friends and they're not adding to my purpose, then I'm not gonna go any further, because I feel like I need people who gonna be able to not feel annoyed by when I talk about God, or not, shut me down because I'm talking about God. I need somebody who actually is wanting to grow spiritually with me. And I ask God to place people in my life like that. So yeah, on that note, God, I'm gonna let you go and get on this drive so I can get home to my babies. But yeah, like I said, I want to stop by and give y'all that word. Like I said, are you just qualified or are you called? And if you don't know, ask God so you can make sure you understand what your purpose is. Because there's no point of living in this life, having all these things in this world if you don't know what your purpose is. It's just dead. So ask God and He will reveal it to you. All right, peace.